Here are 3 delicious vegan cheese recipes that you can whip up in less than 5 minutes. First on our list is Parmesan cheese. This one is super simple and it's so good on pasta. So step 1 is to grab half a cup of cashew nuts. These are roasted salted cashews which actually add a nicer flavour to the Parmesan than just the regular cashew nuts. Alrighty, now we're going to add in a couple tablespoons of nutritional yeast and a teaspoon of garlic granules. I added a pretty generous one in here, and also a teaspoon of salt. Now stick the lid on and put it in any kind of high-speed blender and give it a whiz for about 10 seconds. Beautiful, there we've got our fresh Parmesan. Honestly, this stuff is amazing. And so is this nacho cheese dip. Most of the cheeses that I've found have cashew as the base, but for this one, we're using butter beans. You could also use cannellini beans as well. So we're going to give them a good old drain and then stick them into our mixer, along with some jalapeños to taste, half a cup of our trusty nutritional yeast, teaspoon or so of smoked paprika, and the same of cumin, and then about half teaspoon of garlic powder and half teaspoon of turmeric. And now we've just got to add in a little teaspoon of salt and a couple tablespoons of corn flour. Now give it a cheeky little squirt of lemon juice and about a cup of plant-based milk. I'm using soy milk, but oat milk or anything like that will work as well. And it isn't a coincidence that I'm adding the wet ingredients at the end. Doing it this way makes everything mix up much more nicely. And now let's just balls. Now let's just whiz it up. With this one it probably needs about 30 seconds. Now just stick it in a bowl. You can add a little bit of garnish, some smoked paprika or some fresh stuff as well. And it's ready for you to dip in some tortillas. And speaking of tortillas, I don't actually have a smooth segue to this next section, but it doesn't matter because this mozzarella is so tasty and it's got a brilliant texture. So this time we've got regular cashew nuts and we're going to add a half cup of these to a full cup of water. Whoops, we'll sort that out later. Now let's just whiz up the cashews for about 30 seconds or so until it's nice and smooth. Now we've got some lovely cashew milk and we're going to turn on our pot already to the hottest heat because this is a speed recipe and we want to make sure everything's ready to go. Now let's add in, you guessed it, a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. Oh, there it goes, the secret ingredient, 3 tablespoons of tapioca flour, half a teaspoon of our garlic granules, a teaspoon of salt, tablespoon or so of lemon juice, and we're going to give it all a quick 10-second whiz. That should do the trick. Lovely, now we're just going to stick it straight into a non-stick pot and we're going to keep it on a high heat whilst we stir it constantly. After about 60 seconds or so, I started to notice the first lumps forming. After 2 minutes, it's really getting noticeably thicker. And after about 3 minutes, it should be almost like a ball of dough. And that means it's time to remove it and stick it in a bowl. If you wanted to, you could just pour this straight onto something like a cheese sauce. But what we're going to do is get a spoonful and put it in a little bit of salty water. This is going to cool it down, seal it off and make it into a lovely little mozzarella ball. Just to test it out, I've got a little potato cake here. I'm going to stick on a spoonful of salsa and one of our mozzarella balls, then put it in the grill for a couple minutes. Before I found these recipes, I had no idea how easy it is to make delicious dairy-free cheese. So if you learned something today, please leave a like and I will see you in the next video. Peace.